Hi guys, welcome to my November wrap up and December to be read. I'm going to try and make this quite quick because I'm rather tired and I don't have that many books to talk about. Well, I do actually, I read quite a few this month, but I'm going to try and zoom through them. And also apologies for my hair, I need to cut my fringe, it's a bit mental. Anyway, the first book I read was one I mentioned in my last wrap up, which is The Lady and the Unicorn by Tracy Chevalier. And it follows the story of the creation of a series of tapestries, and I think they're the Lady and the Unicorn tapestries. I don't think it says, but it was very, very interesting and I really enjoyed it. It's the same kind of, not plot, but idea as The Girl with the Pearl Earring, where it follows the creation of a piece of art, and it was very, very interesting and I really enjoyed it. And I definitely want to check out more of her books now because I just quite enjoy her writing style. The next book is another one that I'd been planning to read, which is Sisters Red by Jackson Pierce. And part of the reason that I just forced myself to hit this as soon as possible was because I just love the cover so much and I wanted to have this on my bookshelf. And I did enjoy it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I definitely did enjoy it, and I will be planning on reading her other books, especially if I can get them in nice versions like this. I don't normally buy hardback books either because they're slightly more expensive and take up more space, but for those I'd make an exception. The next two books I read, as you may remember, I was mentioning Silverthorn by Raymond E. Feast, and I've now also read Darkness at Cessanon, so I read both of them straight after each other. Unfortunately the covers don't match, but my first one doesn't match them either, so it's not as bad as it could be. Although I will maybe try and rebuy it at some point just so they all look the same, because I'm picky about stuff like that. But no, I love these books, and I'm really glad I started the series, because Amazon had a special deal for the first book. And so I'm going to be trying to read more of her series later. Probably not till next year though, once I've got more time to dedicate to reading a large trilogy, but I just zipped right through these two because I loved them so much. The next book I read was one of my new ones. I got this book for my birthday last month, and it's one I've been meaning to read for ages, I've just not had it. And it is The Ira Fair by Jasper Fforde, and I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed all the references to literature in it, and oh, my bookmarks on it. And I definitely plan on reading more of them. I've got a friend that's got them all, so I can borrow them, and I'm going to enjoy that. The next book was one that I got relatively recently that might be in one of my upcoming book hauls if I finally get around to doing them, is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson, and I really enjoyed this. I went and read it on the train home because it was quite short, and definitely recommend it. Very different from the film though, especially the ending, and like it's different enough in this it's vampires rather than zombies or zombie-like creatures. But no, it's very interesting, and I'm not sure which I prefer. I like them both so much. I think the film's kind of different enough that you can enjoy it separately from the book. And the final physical book I have here to show you that I read is another book that was made into a film, which is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, and I've not actually seen the film. It's terrible, but I've not, and I've been meaning to watch it for so long now, and I just never got around to it. But now that I've finally read the book, I definitely have to see it soon, because I loved the book. It was really, really good. And so I'd like to kind of see how the film is, because I don't really know anything about the film other than the fact it's got dinosaurs. Then there was one more book I read this month, and it was Casual Vacancy, so I finally finished that. I'm very happy. And I'm unsure about how I feel about that. When I last mentioned it, I was saying it was taking me quite a while to get into. I wasn't really enjoying it. I've definitely changed my mind now. I did enjoy it, but it does take quite a while to get into it. And I'm not sure if it was kind of worth dedicating that much time if I hadn't, you know, I don't like giving up on books, so that's the only reason I continued. So I can see other people giving up a lot earlier than I did. But it was worth reading. I did enjoy it. Very, very different from our other books though, so I wouldn't really recommend it if you're a fan of Harry Potter, because it's going to be nothing like that. Very kind of gritty, realistic. But it was good, and it was quite well written. Anyway, that's it for the books I've read. For my to be read this month, I don't really have any books to show you because I just don't really know yet. One of the ones I'm thinking of reading is The Painted Man by Peter V. Brett. I think that's the name, because I've been wanting to read it for a while because I bought the second book quite cheaply, and so I just waited for ages to get the first one. And so I might try and read those two at some point. Actually, I lied, I've got one to show you. It's Caesar, The Conquest of Gaul, because that's something I'm needing to read for uni. And so I'm going to be trying to read that. I might also try and read The Ecclesiastical History of Britain, I think that's the title, by Bede, because that's another one that'd be for uni. As for kind of fiction, I'm not really sure yet. I'm currently reading Insurgent, and I'm about a third of the way through that. And I'm still reading my Victorian Ghost Stories book as well, so I need to try and finish that. I'm also 3 books away from hitting my Goodreads goal for the year, and so I'm trying to decide on a book to be my final book for hitting my goal, because I want it to be something special, like, oh, I've read this many books and my final one was this. But I can't think of something that's important enough, because I want it to be a new book. I don't want to do a reread, otherwise I just do Lord of the Rings. So I'm thinking of maybe reading the Book of Lost Tales Part 2, but I've not decided yet, and I've got quite a lot of books that I think are interesting, but I don't want to read one by a new author in case I don't enjoy it, because I feel like the book should be something that I know I'm going to love. So if you've got any suggestions on books you think would be a really good book to finish off my target with, then let me know. Or if you've read any of the books I've mentioned I might be looking at, then tell me that as well. And I will hopefully be seeing you soon with another book haul. Apologies for kind of being absent for the last few weeks. I've been really swamped with uni work. Still quite busy, but it's kind of getting quieter now. So yes, thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you again soon.